What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again, coming at you with another Summoner's War video. Today we're going to do a quick unit and rune showcase with my account that recently got revamped by the likes of Sean B. So shout out to Sean B one time, who recently got a chance to mess around with my account on a free rune mobile ticket and see what he could do to optimize it for RTA. Now, for those that may have remember, all the way back during the SWC 2018 for Korea, we had the distinct pleasure and honor of working with Hua from SafeSpec again. He got a chance to check out my account, make a couple of adjustments, and basically from then until now, we're just making a couple of things here and there as we get better runes. But this time around, Shambi's like, dude, I've had enough of this. I'm tired of seeing you in like 5 to 3 C1. I think you have the potential to be C3. Let's see if we can go ahead and revamp everything and just solely like prioritize on RTA. So that's what we recently did. Today I'm going to be showcasing some of the changes that he made and kind of my thought process on why I think he made those changes. And then we're going to go ahead and showcase a best of 3 at the end of the video. So before we get into the showcase here, one of the things that Sean B mentioned to me or asked me before we got started was, hey man, with regards to your Violent Will set, what is your best runed Violent Will unit? And at the time, it was Fran. It was sitting at about 252 total speed on a Violent Will set. And so, you know, outside of that, I probably had anywhere from like 3 to 5 sets that were in the vicinity. Violent Will sets were in the vicinity of like 220 to 230, maybe 235 or whatnot. But overall, it wasn't all too much here. And one of the things that I constantly talk about is that, I always give myself a hard time, the whole concept of room depth and being able to, make necessary adjustments without crippling other people's. I was always very, very scared to do that. And so it took a second set of eyes to take a look at this and literally re-rune a lot of my meta units that I incorporate in RTA with an additional 20 to 30 or even 40 speed across the board while still maintaining a fair amount of decent runed units that I can utilize in other aspects of the game, most notably Guild War and Siege. So we're going to go ahead and get started with Fran. Fran literally got maybe I'd say about a 7 speed decrease, but overall, she still has the same amount of effective HP, still has the same amount of accuracy, and is still on a Violent Will. So everything worked out here. She's running speed, HP here. So overall, not too bad at all. Now, with regards to the light unit, one of the units out there, I'd say probably one of the top 5 units that got really revamped here is going to be Lauren. Now, for those that do not remember, my Lauren was on a Swift broken set with about plus 151 speed or so. And the reason why she was at that speed is because I couldn't get her on a violence set, obviously at a super high amount here, but she was at that speed to go ahead and enable all my other units out there that I can utilize. 151 speed in the Conquer range is really not competitive here. So now we made some adjustments on this one, basically taking a lot of Woosa's runes, put it on here and making some adjustments on Woosa, taking advantage of his base speed with another Swift set to keep him more or less around the 280, 290 speed while giving Lauren now an opportunity to shine and really get the first turn, especially if we run a speed lead like the Seara, Vanessa, so on and so forth here. So honestly, Lauren literally got a 35 speed buff here. I lost maybe 4%, 5% accuracy, and overall the HP, I think it might have dropped like 3 to 4K here. But again, we're looking to get that first turn. We're looking to start with the control right away. You're going to see a lot of single target units that made a lot of changes here. Single target strippers that made a lot of changes here. So we're looking to get that first turn. We're looking to get aggressive, and now we really have the opportunity to get super competitive here. So today, okay, the next one, which probably got the biggest change of all, Ganymede. Ganymede was sitting at about a Violent Will 234 speed total. Now, as you guys can see, pushing 264 speed on a Violent Will set here. Literally lost little to no HP, maybe 8% accuracy, and still has well over 1100 defense here. So pretty excited about that because I see a lot of people in the C3, G1, G2, running the 260 to 270 Ganymede, and I would have never thought in a million years, considering my rune depth, that I would be able to get any unit on a Violent Will with good effective HP for my account and quote unquote be competitive here. So pretty excited about that. We're running speed, HP on that one as well. Next one that we got changed as far as the win units here, Triana. So Triana, if you guys have seen Sean, he loves his death prevention. I think it makes perfect sense on mine because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to outspeed, and there's going to be a lot of people that can wreck me if I don't have some kind of failsafe to incorporate, right? So between the Vanessa, the Triana, the Tyrannus, did I say that right? Tyrannus. Okay, I get a lot of crap from everybody. So I went ahead and took a little bit, made a couple of changes here. and we were able to get her on the set here. So we're going to Violent Nemesis set, speed, HP, defense. A little bit less HP on this one, but overall really good. We got her on a Nemesis set finally. We took off the will. I took off the will actually a while back, but her overall effective HP and speed were on the lower end. So now she's a little bit improved, and now she has a little bit of accuracy to kind of assist her in providing a little bit of extra sleeps when I get them here. So another unit that got changed in the win category is Ethna. Ethna was running a oh my god, I can't even talk right now. A Despair Will set with about plus maybe 115 speed or whatnot. So as you can see, she got a huge overhaul, gaining well over 35 speed here, and now is going to assist the Lauren in stripping units and enabling other units by the likes of the Ganymede and enabling my CR and whatnot to just either crowd control or stun or even just I got a lot of options here. So now she's not on a will set. She is on Despair. Speed, crit rate, attack here. A little bit different now. Not as much effective HP. She has a little bit more on the attack end. But again, like I said, it's all about setting yourself up for success. And if even on a Despair Will set, in the situations that I was using her in, it was kind of, they were super niche, and I wasn't basically taking advantage of her base speed. So now with the recent improvements here, I think I could be a little bit more competitive with this. I'm excited. Obviously the critical rate's not max, the accuracy is a little bit low, but we're gonna try it out, see how it goes, and then we'll just try to make adjustments on the fly, see if we get some better runes to go ahead and cap off her critical rate when I can. Okay, Seara, I'd say another unit that got a pretty substantial overhaul here. So if you guys remember, she used to be a little bit more on the bruiser end, probably about 4k HP. She lost 4k HP, maybe 100 attack, but she improved by about 35 critical rate. She got pretty much a max critical rate here. We're running HP critical rate attack here with actually almost 20 additional speed here. So obviously you guys know the importance of revenge when it comes to CR here. I generally run a violent will set on this, but revenge, you can get a lot out of it considering her first skill provides that attack bar increaser. So it's going to be really nice, and just overall, if she gets targeted, we're going to have a little bit more damage in addition to her ability to turn cycle and whatnot. So pretty excited about that. Looking to see how that goes here. Again, top 5 units that got revamped here. Daphnis, if you guys remember, we always made fun of my Daphnis, right? 11k Daphnis sitting there with I would say about 2200 attack, 2100 attack, plus 151 speed. Enough critical rate, enough critical damage here. So now with the recent change, we got obviously a lot more HP, a lot more defense, and literally over an additional like 21, 22 speed here. So I mean, the only thing to knock on this is that we need to improve that critical rate. If need be, I can run the critical rate lead obviously here, but I'm going to be looking to make some adjustments on that. But at least now Daphnis is going to again go in line with what we were talking about, the Ethnas, the Lauren, another single target unit that can go ahead and strip those wills and allow some other units that I bring in for crowd control or just overall turn cycle. I can take advantage of them and just control the field. So I mean, overall, pretty excited about this one. I was a little scared about this one because and originally when we took a look at it, it had maybe plus 900 attack, and I'm like, Sean B, what are you doing, man? Like, that's not going to be enough to one-shot units. And it's like, think about the units that you're going to be bringing in Daphnis to go up against, and think about their typical overall effective HP, right? For your rank, right? And so when you think about this one, my number 1 target being France, this is more than enough to take out Fran here. But again, I had that extra, plus 200, plus 300 attack here. So I was addicted to high damage Daphnis, right? I wanted to, snipe him out. I wanted to see that shield hold on forever. But at the end of the day, I realized that I didn't need as much attack here, and I can make a couple of adjustments to improve the speed overall without like crippling my abilities to one-shot specific units that I'm going to be targeting Daphnis with here. So overall, pretty excited about it. Again, got to make some improvements on the critical rate. Could use a little bit more accuracy, but I think it was a really good adjustment. I'm pretty excited to mess around with this one. The next one here in the fire category that got changed is going to be Helena. Now, Helena was on a violent blade set with basically the same amount of HP, but like 30, I think about 30 less speed here, and just straight critical rate, more or less the same amount of accuracy here. So as you guys can see, we have a little bit of a drop on the critical rate, but Now we have a little bit of critical damage, and now she's actually on will. So this is really good for me because there was a lot of times where I took advantage of Helena in a specific match that basically said, "Oh my God, please bring Helena," but I still got controlled. I still got manipulated because she didn't have will, and so she was just a pain in the butt to try to utilize because I wasn't going to be the first. I wasn't going to be able to outspeed other people, and so I just basically had to take it. When people came at me and left Helena on the field. So now she can be a little bit on the slower end, and now if she does go ahead and turn cycle just a little bit here, I'm going to get a whole lot more value out of the DPS, and not only that she can bring at the start of the match here, but also as the match progresses here. So overall, yeah, no changes on Rika. Rika's still the same here. Velajuel got a pretty huge overhaul. Again, Velajuel's another one of the 5 or 6 units out there that are now running a violent will set with about plus 240, 250 speed here. So one of the things that we've talked about quite a bit on my account is I don't have a lot of anti-CC units, yeah. So I don't have the Josephine, I don't have the Juno. I pretty much when anti-CC comes my way here, if I'm not using a ton amount of depth prevention plus like Iris or Lich, I mean I'm pretty much just kind of gambling with whatever random units I could throw in there. Because again, I'm basically triggered every single time I see whatever they bring. So now I got another option for Velajuel. Velajuel was already sitting there with about plus 1 to 17 speed. So it wasn't like he was in a bad situation, but now I have a little bit more wiggle room here because now I have a little bit more speed, and this one is going to be again speed 2 with some of the other units that I'm going to be bringing in. So pretty excited about that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes here. So the next one that got a nice little overhaul here was Antares. Antares was running a bruiser build, HP crit damage, HP, and it still had a decent amount of attack here. I think the attack was like plus 600, plus 700, but now we made a couple of adjustments here. He's like, okay, this is going to proc. You know that it's going to proc here, so let's see if we can make every proc count with that much more damage. So now we basically got a little bit less defense, a little bit less HP, but we got a little bit more attack, and overall, we don't really need to change the speed because we don't really care about speed. We're looking at proc, right? We're looking at just get those procs. And so I'm pretty excited about that because I use the Lich a lot, I use Antares a lot. So we'll have to mess around and see what we could do down the road to see what kind of damage it brings. Okay. Next one up, we got Verdehile. Verdehile has been on a violent revenge set with about plus 103 speed for a while. So as you guys can see, we got about an additional 20 speed on him, running at about what is that, 219 speed or whatnot here. So the only downside here is that we're running a violent will versus a violent revenge because as you probably saw in Seara and some of the other units that we're going to be showcasing here, we took a lot of my super efficient revenge runes and used them in other aspects, right? In other units and what here. So obviously the goal is to get this one back on a revenge set with the same amount of speed here, or a little bit more, but right for the time being, that's what we're going to be running. We were actually looking to run double revenge will, just to try to get a little more counterattacks in, for anti-cleaves or whatnot. But now we're running the violent because Lord knows I need the violent, to get the job done here. So next one, they got a pretty good change here. Vanessa. Vanessa was basically more or less the same amount of HP, attack, defense, and speed. A little less speed here. About 8 to 9%, 8% more critical rate. We got an additional 25 critical damage. And I think the accuracy dropped about 6 or so. So, I mean, if you think about it, 15% accuracy versus 20% accuracy, it's really not going to make too much difference with regards to my ability to land a defense break here. But overall, again, Vanessa is just a super important unit for my lineup here. Again, giving me that additional 33% speed lead so I can be competitive with all the other OP players out there. So definitely got to be utilizing this one a lot more if I can. And even though I may set myself up with not as many units that can have one-shot potential, whatnot, this unit obviously scales well over time and can do some really, really good damage, in the later stages of the game here. So pretty excited about that. Going back to Woosa. Woosa, again, was about 305 speed. And so one of the things that Sean said was, hey, Woosa is great, but he doesn't need to be that great. You can still be competitive at 298 or 300 with, a fair amount of speed, or whatnot, and still be fine because you're going to be running speed these one out here. So he made the adjustments to get the first turn here. As you can see, though, we are running a defense rune. We're running the resistance rune here, speed, HP, resistance. So we're a little bit low on the HP end, but we're still in a position to get ourselves to get ourselves potentially the first turn to get that little speed bump here. And then if for whatever reason they do get a jump on me, maybe they bring an Oki and try to reset my Woosa or whatever like that, it's going to be a little bit harder because we have a max amount of resistance. So again, overall, like the stats, I just need to, see if I can find a HP rune and then figure out a way to, maintain a decent amount of resistance. But pretty excited about that. Hegar, I do want to make a comment on Hegar. Hegar really didn't make too much changes here. Still on a violent broken set. We can't get it on a bruiser or like a crit damage build and still maintain, fair amount of effective HP and critical rate, so on and so forth, and accuracy too. But the one thing I want to point out here is that this is one of those units that really shines in some of my lineups here, but I always get fearful of having getting new units and losing specific runes like violent runes that have the plus 20 to 24 speed here. So you can see like this rune here. I get a little worried when I get new units here, because I feel like I have to pull certain runes and take some speed if I need to. But luckily enough, Sean was able to I think throw 1 or 2 runes here to basically keep me at that same amount of speed. I think he literally only took my 2 slot and maybe my 5 slot, but we basically kept him at the same amount of speed, so he's still going to be able to assist in enabling some of my other units here. So basically a unit that I utilize a little bit here and there for Guild Wars Siege that literally went from 0 to hero now is going to be a Lucia. Now, Lucia is one of those units that Shambi was really surprised that I wasn't incorporating, given the fact of what I have and what I don't have, right? So he kind of coined this one as like the budget Hathor here, having that 2-turn sleep and the control on this unit here. So we got it. It was on a violent broken set with plus 115 speed. Now it's violent will. Altogether we have 240 speed there. Still pretty much have the same amount of HP defense. So effective HP is good. And as you can see, we still have a little bit of wiggle room, I guess, on this rune here to go ahead and get some more attack and get a little more bonus here. So I'm pretty excited because I got a chance to play it out, obviously, prior to making this video here, and she came in really, really handy. Her cooldowns are super low, and given all the other turn enabling or turn cycling units that I incorporate in my lineup here, the Lorens, the Verdehiles, right? She can really shine once everything kind of is synergized and works together here. So that's going to be it, guys, for this video. Again, big shout out to Sean B for taking the time to take a look at my account and trying to make some adjustments here. He truly believes that this count has the potential to be C3, so I'm pretty excited to test it out and see how we could do. Now, keep in mind, I'm fully aware of my inability to knock down that pick and ban concept of the game. So I want to put it out there for all of you guys in the community that may make a couple of adjustments, or you may have a friend help you out with optimizing your account. The biggest mistake that I think people deal with, and even I do with the same, is that regardless of however you set up your account, incorporate your account, if you cannot take the time to get those wings in and really practice over and over again, it's not gonna allow you to perfect your team. It's not gonna allow you to see some of the flaws that you have in your lineup, so that you can make the adjustments, especially when you get a chance to see what other people are utilizing to counter you. So that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. It's your boy Childish and ChildishPlays checking out. Take care, and it's time to show you that best of 3 match with Sean B.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out. Down in the deep of my mind, I call for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I call for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you. you got me falling in more times than I can get out.